Probably the very easiest thing that you can make in the Instapot is yogurt. I had never made yogurt before, so I was a little intimidated at the idea, but it turned out that it is dead simple. So I'm going to make a half a gallon's worth of yogurt. The only two ingredients in it are milk and just a couple tablespoons of an already active yeast yogurt culture. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to wrestle the lid on. Then there's a button right on the Instant Pot that says yogurt. So I'm going to push that, and it says boil. So it's not going to actually boil. It's going to come to 180 degrees, and it's going to take a little while. It really depends on how cold your milk is, how much milk you're putting in there. So I'm just going to wait till it beeps. When it beeps, I'm going to open the pot. It's not pressuring right now, so it's just heating the milk up. Kind of what we would probably call a scald. When the milk is 180 degrees, it's going to beep. I'm going to check it with a thermometer. It's a good idea. It needs to come to 180 degrees, and then you're going to allow it to cool or cool it to between 105 and 115 degrees. No higher than that. It can be a little cooler than that. That's okay. And then you're going to put it back on the Instant Pot. You're going to add some yogurt culture to it, and then turn it on to cook for a long time at a low temperature. And it's not something that you have to think about. You just push the yogurt button. So I'm going to let this go for a while, and when it beeps, I'll show you what we're going to do. So the machine just beeped, and the word boil is no longer on here. Now it says yogurt. So we're going to take this off. It hasn't been on pressure, so this is perfectly safe. And I'm going to check the thermometer with the thermometer to make sure that it really is about 180 degrees. It's exactly 180 degrees, so that's perfect. And we can either just let this cool on the table, or I can put it in an ice bath and let it cool down more quickly. But the point is that we want to get it below between 115 and 105 degrees. So I'm going to actually put it in the sink and chill it down because I'm impatient. And then I'll show you what we do next with it. So now about maybe 10 minutes have passed, and I'm going to check the temperature on this. And it is 99 degrees, so that's fine. I'll rinse that off in a bit. So I'm going to take this and put it right back in here. And I'm going to get the yogurt my last batch of yogurt, I still have a little bit of it left. So I'm going to take a couple of tablespoons and put it in there. It doesn't have to, more isn't really better. So I'm going to stir that around, and I'm going to be careful not to scrape up the bottom. In case anything has stuck on the bottom, I don't really want to mix that in. So I'm going to mix this all up. So those are the only two ingredients, just milk and yogurt, which is really just milk anyway, so milk and milk. I'm going to put the lid back on this. And it says yogurt. I'm going to press yogurt again. The default is 24 hours, and that's too long. You want it to be between 8 and 14 hours. The shorter, the closer it is to the 8-hour mark, the less tangy it will be. So I'm just going to kind of go in the middle there. I'm going to say 10 hours. And then in just a minute or so, less than a minute really, it's going to turn itself on, and I don't have to do anything at all. Now it's 8:30 at night, so 10 hours from now, it's going to be in the middle of the night. I'm not going to get up. It's going to keep it on warm for me at a safe temperature, so I don't have to do anything until I wake up in the morning. So that's it for now, and I will show you what it looks like when it comes out. So now 10 hours have passed, and we've gone from the countdown, which was ticking on this. So when it hit the time that I had set on it, the word goes to yogurt, and this would stay and just keep it warm. So if I had decided that perhaps I was not going to get up at 6:30 to finish filming this, it would have been fine to leave it here till a normal hour to wake up in the morning. But anyway, so all I have to do now is take the lid off. I don't have to worry about any pressurizing because this hasn't been on pressure. It's been on a pretty low heat. In fact, this is cool enough that I can touch it. So I'm jiggling it. It's set, but I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for 3 to 4 hours before I transfer it to another bowl. I'll put it in the fridge, and in 4 hours I'll transfer it to dishes and show you what it looks like. Well, I let this yogurt sit in the refrigerator. It said in the recipe to let it sit for a considerable amount of time before transferring it to another container. I'm not really sure why, but I decided to follow that rule. So just gonna see, you can see it's nice and thick. So this was a half a gallon of milk about that. Doesn't look like it's really reduced very much in size. So these jars of yogurt, they'll keep, you know, as long as regular yogurt will keep in the refrigerator quite some time. And then when I go to make another batch of yogurt, I'm just going to make sure I'm going to need a couple tablespoons for the next batch. And when you make it the first time, you're not going to have your homemade, so you can use a jar of Greek yogurt, a little container of Greek yogurt that you get from the supermarket. So I'm going to continue filling this other container, and that's how you make yogurt from just milk and a little bit of your initial yogurt culture to start with. It's really simple. So there you go. Enjoy it.